Yo, you action figure enthusiasts out there, JC here with another TNI news video. Now we've got a lot to cover today, so let's hop right into it. And first thing I wanted to share with you is a new updated image for the Marvel Select 7-inch Sandman figure, which is going to be released by Diamond Select Toys in July. I'd originally talked about this figure right before Toy Fair, and then the figure, of course, was on display at Toy Fair. But with this new updated image released by Diamond Select Toys, it shows us the figure with the actual accessories attached. This is the first time we're seeing these attached to the figure. Now, this image was actually released during Toy Fair, so you may have seen it then, but there was a lot of news coming out at that point. So just in case you missed it, I wanted to show it to you guys. And it shows you how, you can take the legs and put that sand portion on, and then have the switch out the regular hands with the sand spike ball and everything. So kind of cool. Now, while we're on the subject of Marvel Select figures, we got a couple of surprise reveals this weekend. So these images come from Action Features, and I'll put a link to his Instagram page in the video description below. But he found these apparently at a Disney store. Oftentimes, the Disney store exclusives don't get announced ahead of time. They just start showing up on shelves. And so it looks like the next two Disney Store exclusive Marvel Select figures we're getting are based on the Ant-Man and the Wasp movie. So we're getting both Ant-Man and Wasp, two different figures. And the Ant-Man figure has got a couple cool little miniature figures. So it's got an Ant-Man miniature, which isn't a big deal. But then also we're getting the Hank Pym, Michael Douglas, and the Michelle Pfeiffer, Janet Van Dyne figures as little miniatures. So really, this is the first time we've gotten those characters in any kind of figure form. So small that you really can't make out the likeness, so that's probably why they were able to do them. But still kind of cool nevertheless. The Wasp figure just comes with an extra hand or extra pair of hands and a miniature version of herself, as well as Ant-Man. So I like the look of the Wasp figure better than the Ant-Man figure, but I think the Ant-Man figure comes with cooler accessories. Now, these should be up for pre-order soon on the Disney store, Shop Disney website. If you don't have access to a local Disney store, then you can probably hit them up there soon. But again, these are sold exclusively through the Disney store, so you won't be able to find them at your comic or specialty shops. Okay, and then the final bit of Marvel news I have for you today is a bit Avengers Endgame spoilerish. So if you've been avoiding all Endgame spoilers, you probably do want to fast forward a few minutes. But this is what looks like our first look at a Marvel Legends Endgame product, and it is an actual 2-pack. So this 2-pack features figures of Ronin/Hawkeye and Black Widow, and both characters are wearing those weird Avenger suits that we've seen in a lot of the leaked promo art. And what's really interesting, I mean, they come with their basic weapons. Hawkeye comes with a bow, Black Widow comes with their batons and a pistol. But what's really kind of interesting about this set is that it features 3 different head sculpts, alternate head sculpts. And what it looks like here, and first of all, let me just say a big thanks to Jay the Fanboy 7 for giving me the heads up on this image. He's the one that alerted me to this. I don't know where this image originated from. It's just floating all over social media. Nobody's tagging the actual source. But again, big thanks to Jay the Fanboy for the heads up on it. But anyway, so the interesting thing about this set is it comes with 3 alternate heads. And I believe what the idea here is the 3 alternate heads are of Iron Man, Ant-Man, and the third one, which is kind of blurry, hard to make out, I think is maybe Nebula. Looks like it is a female head sculpt with purple skin, so that's my best guess, is it's Nebula. I guess all these characters end up wearing these suits at some point in the movie. We don't know exactly what these suits are for. Maybe time travel. I really have no idea. But I think what the idea is, instead of Hasbro releasing all these characters as single releases, they've made it so you can essentially just switch out the heads on these bodies. So you can put the male characters on that Hawkeye body, and you can put the female characters on the Black Widow body. So the downside to this, it's kind of a cool idea, because I agree, if Hasbro's thinking was if they put out all these characters in these generic suits as single releases, they're probably just going to sit on the pegs, and I would tend to agree. But the one downside with the set is if you are somebody who wanted all these characters released on single, or wanted to be able to display each of the characters with these suits on, then you're going to have to buy multiples of this 2-pack. Now, there may be one other figure with this suit released. I don't know. I'm guessing maybe Captain America, maybe in that first Avengers themed wave. I would not be surprised at all if we see Cap with this suit in that first Avengers themed wave that'll be coming out next month. But as it is, you know, we know if this is all we get with these suits, then you'd have to buy this set at least 3 times if you wanted to display all your characters, maybe even 4 if you wanted Cap, I guess. But if they do Cap with this suit and it is the same body and everything so that the heads from this set fit on the Cap figure, then you'll still have to buy this set twice because you'll want to get it for Nebula and Black Widow, and then you can use the Hawkeye as well as either Iron Man or Ant-Man. And then you would have to get like the Captain America figure so you have Cap, and then you'd probably buy a second Captain America figure so then you could use either whichever Ant-Man or Iron Man head you didn't use from this set. So you will have to buy multiples if you really want like everybody that wears this suit. And then I think Hulk maybe wears this suit too, or Banner. So I don't know how they're going to work him into the line, if at all. But anyway, you know, it's kind of an interesting set. You know, I'm guessing if it, you know, I'm pretty sure this is legit, though again, not officially confirmed by Hasbro. And I'm guessing this here in the United States, this will probably be some kind of store exclusive, maybe Target. That's a pure guess on my part, but generally these kind of 2-packs end up being store exclusives. And Target is one of the places that generally carry these kind of things. So we'll have to wait and see. I don't know when Hasbro will be officially able to start talking about Endgame product. Probably not until at least we see a second trailer. And I think the official release date for Avengers Endgame product is at the very end of March. That's what was stated during Toy Fair when they did their stock portfolio meeting presentation thing. One of the slides said on-shelf date for Avengers Endgame. So that's probably, you know, stuff will probably come out earlier. I'm sure we'll start seeing the stuff leak out on shelves. We've already seen the basic figures start to leak out. So, but I think the official embargo date for Endgame product is the very end of next month. So, and whether Hasbro can start talking about any of this stuff before then is, my guess is probably not, but we'll have to wait and see. Okay, now moving on to import figures. So first of all, I wanted to tell you about official images that were released by Tamashii Nations for their next Street Fighter V figure, which is going to be Vega. Now this looks very much like, you know, his classic look as well, but technically it's considered part of the Street Fighter V line. And Vega's going to have a masked head and an unmasked head where you can take the mask off, so, you know, like he does in the video game. He's going to have the Wolverine type claw. He's going to have multiple hands. He's going to have a fence piece, which is kind of cool, so that you can, you know, one of his moves was he would jump up on the fence and then do flips and stuff. So it's kind of cool that they included that as well. Looks pretty good. You know, if you've been collecting the other SH Figuarts Street Fighter figures, then I think you'll want to check this one out. This figure is currently up for pre-order and should see a release in August. And then for you Mafex fans, we're getting a new Fantastic Beasts: The Crimes of Grindelwald Newt Scamander figure, so the main character in that movie. I actually just saw this movie this weekend. I gotta say, I'm not a super Harry Potter fan in general, but I think the original Harry Potter movies have been much better than these Fantastic Beasts movies. I just have a hard time following everything that's going on. It's just not laid out as well, probably because they're cramming everything into 3 movies as opposed to 7. But nevertheless, you know, if you are a fan of the Fantastic Beasts movie, then you may want to check this one out. Head sculpts look good. You're getting 2 different faces. You're getting a normal face and a smiling face. He's going to come with 2 versions of his trunk, so a closed version and then a version that's open, where you can actually switch out the coat pieces and take the top half of the figure and stick it in the trunk, so it looks like, you know, he's going in or out of it. You know, basically it's kind of like a doorway to a larger place. And then he's going to come with his wand, multiples hands. Yeah, one of the hands is going to have that little plant creature that you see him with in the movies. And then he's also going to come with the little niffle or whatever they call it, the little jewelry thief character. So he's going to come with that as well. So this figure is going to be released in December. It stands about 6.1 inches tall. And, you know, again, if you're into Harry Potter and the Fantastic Beasts and everything, you probably want to check this out. And it should be going up for pre-order at places like Big Bad Toy Store very soon. And then the final thing on the import figure front I have for you today, we go back to SH Figuarts with a look at the upcoming Revenge of the Sith Yoda figure. So this image comes via a magazine scan from an overseas magazine that's hit the internet. I don't know the original source, but it gives us our best look at this figure. We'd seen this figure at some of the conventions on display, but this really gives us our best look. And it looks like he's going to come with his lightsaber as well as one of the chairs from the Jedi Council that we see in like episode 1 and such. So definitely it's kind of cool. And so if you've been wanting a prequel Yoda, like Black Series was basically based more on the original trilogy than the prequel. So if you wanted a prequel version, then you might want to check this one out. I don't have a lot of specifics as far as release dates or anything, or when it's going to go up for pre-order, but probably I would guess we'll get more information on this within the next month or so. Okay, and then the final bit of news I wanted to share with you guys today is in regards to NECA Toys. So some exciting news that came out of the interview that Shartimus Prime did with Randy Fox last weekend during Toy Fair. And I will put a link to that interview if you want to check it out, which I do recommend. Even with me giving you the key points, it's just interesting to listen to Randy talk about this stuff. But anyway, the big key points are that those DC versus Dark Horse comic 2-packs that they showed 3 years ago at Toy Fair are in fact going to be released finally this year. Now, unfortunately, they are not going to see release at any kind of regular retail. They are going to be released as Comic-Con exclusives. There are actually 4, even though we've only seen 3, there are 4 of these 2-packs. So the plan is they're going to try and release 2 at San Diego Comic-Con and then 2 at New York Comic-Con this year. And they also said, Randy said that they would make a limited number of these available to those not attending the convention, so you can buy them online. Now, if you're familiar with that process, you'll know that something like this probably will sell out very quickly when they do eventually go up for pre-order right before the conventions. But nevertheless, they are going to try and make a few available to those not going to the convention. And the 2-packs that we know of that were shown off 3 years ago include Superman versus an alien figure. So just kind of a regular classic Superman, which has an alternate head, at least what they showed at Toy Fair 3 years ago. I can't say 100% that the final version will have this, but they showed an alternate head with the red lasers coming out of his eyes, which was pretty cool. And then an alien figure. The second set is going to be based on a comic book, kind of a regular looking comic book version of Batman. And he's going to come with an alien figure that looks like has the colors of the Joker. So if I remember correctly, these are all based on comic books that were done back in the day, crossovers between Dark Horse and DC. And if I remember correctly, they tried to endow Joker's personality onto an alien or something like that. It was something weird, but basically this alien looks like the Joker, which is kind of cool for from an action figure standpoint. I think it's kind of cool. And then the third set, which is my favorite, is the armored Batman versus a Predator figure. So I really like the look of that armored Batman. That was the one I was most excited about when these were initially announced 3 years ago. So again, they are coming this year. They've got to get them out this year before the DC license is handed over to McFarlane, and 2020 kind of resets everything. So definitely they're getting them out this year. And like I said, the plan is to get 2 out at San Diego and 2 out at New York Comic Con. And I don't have any kind of pricing information yet or exactly when they'll go up for pre-order or anything like that. Those details will come as we get closer to those conventions. And then on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle front, so you recall, I'm sure, that at Toy Fair this year, they showed off, well, first of all, right before Toy Fair, they announced that they were releasing those animated Series 6-inch figures as Target 2-packs, the 4 Turtles, Shredder, and the Foot Soldiers that were originally done as San Diego Comic-Con exclusives. So those are coming to Target. I've actually heard reports of people starting to find those at Target already, and you should start seeing them more next month. And those are going to cost $50 each. But following that is going to be a second wave, and we know at least 2 figures in that second wave are going to be Rocksteady and Bebop. And initially, it had been said that we would only see a second wave if the first wave, the Turtle wave, sold well. But in this interview that he does with Shartimus, he basically says they're definitely coming. So I guess either they're confident enough they're going to sell well, or they've got enough data at this point that they can confirm that the second wave will be released. So a second wave is coming. And even more interesting in the interview, Randy says that they have a total of 18 additional, and I assume Rocksteady and Bebop are part of that 18, but 18 figures that are in the pipeline for Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So that's got to be more than 2 waves. I would say at least 3 waves. And, you know, I don't know exactly what figures they will be. Obviously, again, Rocksteady and Bebop are confirmed for the second wave. And then you may recall last year at San Diego Comic-Con, they showed off some additional figures. So they showed off a Leatherhead figure, which I'm guessing will probably end up being in the second wave, a Slash figure, General Trag, and Granitor. So all of those could be in the second or maybe third waves. I'm sure they'll get, since we know those are coming. So I'm sure those are part of the 18. But still, you know, very exciting that they've got so many characters in the pipeline. And of course, if these continue to sell well and everything, then good chance they could do even more. I know a lot of you, have already seen, want to make sure that we get a new April figure, get a new Casey Jones figure. I'm sure those are all characters that NECA is aware of that you guys wanting. So good chance we'll end up seeing, especially since I doubt they're going to do all bad guys in the second wave. So, I mean, April seems like a no-brainer for a figure for the second wave. But hopefully we'll get more details as the year goes along. I don't know when the second wave would see release. He did not say anything about a release date on the second wave. Again, the first wave is starting to hit now, so I would guess the second wave would see release towards the end of the year, but we'll just have to wait and see. But I'm excited. I think these Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle figures are fantastic looking. Playmates Toys, for whatever reason, decided they just did not want to put any emphasis on collector lines. I guess the ones that they did initially just didn't sell well enough for them. So, I'm glad that NECA is been able to get more of a foothold with these collector-oriented figures, and we'll be getting them out to Target stores. Now, as far as people who don't have access to Target, unfortunately, I don't have anything to tell you guys. At this point, probably your best bet is just going to have to be the secondary market, or make a friend who has access to Target who can try and snag these. Okay, so that's it for today. I'd love to hear your thoughts on everything I talked about. Are you excited for the Avengers Endgame stuff? Are you going to be picking up multiples of that 2-pack? Same thing with NECA. Are you excited they're going to be doing a lot more Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle through the Target stores? And are you excited that they're finally going to release those DC 2-packs, even though they are con exclusives? Let me know in the comments section below. Also, please subscribe to the channel. I am less than 400 subscribers away from hitting the 50,000 landmark, which I will be doing something to celebrate that once that happens. Also, hit the bell notification so you're alerted every time I upload a new video. And you can, of course, follow me on my Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram accounts, or you can head over to the Marvelous News and Toy News International message boards and follow me there. And you can also enter our contest that we're running for both websites to win $100 store credits. I'll put links to the contest details if you haven't heard me talk about that in past videos. And until next time, guys, I will catch you later.